Hey guys, this is the one and only Sonic Ranger back with another video review of Epic Proportions, and today it's time to go back to Transformers Titan Returns with the second figure of my collection, and that is the Voyager class Galvatron, or going by the packaging, Nucleon, which is the Titan Master and Galvatron. So they're making Galvatron second class when compared to the Titan Master. I guess it works considering that the title is Titans Return, which means it's all about the Titans and not really the Transformers themselves. Anyway, let's just go ahead and take a look at the packaging and we'll get to the figure in just a moment. Got a nice picture of Galvatron. Yeah, I'm gonna go with decapitation. Titans Return right there, Nucleon and Galvatron, as I was mentioning before. Ages 8 and up, Transformers logo right here, the Misaligned Generations logo right there. Onto the back, and this is pretty much a triple changer. All the Voyagers are going to be that way, so interesting. Anyway, there's a little bio for Galvatron here. A little longer than your standard bios for most Transformer figures these days, so I'll give credit to Hasbro for this. The Decepticons unite with Titan Master partners to power up for battle. Nucleon gives Galvatron a universal systems upgrade with powerful but unstable results. Don't know what that means. Anyway, over here we've also got available contents. We've got the Titan Master himself, Terrible, the deluxe figure Skull Smasher, Voyager figure Sentinel Prime, and the leader of this series, Autobot Blaster, which I do not have, unfortunately. So that's going to do it for the packaging. Contents to the action figure, we've got the instruction manual here, which actually says Galvatron and Nucleon this time instead of Nucleon and Galvatron, so I'm kind of confused. And then here's the trading card for Galvatron that this figure comes with, which is that same image of Galvatron with his head launching off of his body for some reason. I don't get it, but whatever. Still nice work. Also on the back of the card is some tech specs, which I'll give you a moment to take a look at. And we're done there. So that's going to take care of that. Let's go ahead and take a look at this triple changer in all its glory. Well, sort of. Because as you can see here, yeah, this is his third transformation. Because obviously Galvatron transforms from a robot to a cannon, but now since he's a triple changer like all the other Voyagers of this series, he's got an alt mode that was a last minute decision. But for what it is, it does look okay. I'll give it this. It is a jet, a hypersonic jet, and it definitely resembles an R-Wing from the Star Fox series. At least to me it does. But yeah, I mean, this is it's okay for what it is. It doesn't really hold in place too well. You can open up the cockpit here and take his little Titan Master Nucleon and put him inside like so and close it back. And there you go. Now Nucleon is piloting Galvatron, which is okay, I guess. Galvatron also comes with the cannon, obviously, which you can actually peg into the bottom here in this mode. And it also includes a landing gear. But the problem is, there's no back landing gear to this figure, so he's landing with his nose sticking in the air. Let's go ahead and take a look at his little partner, or obviously his head, Nucleon, which definitely resembles G1 Megatron in all his glory in such a small scale, maybe no bigger than a dime. There's no paint application going on here to this figure except for the fact that his eyes are painted horribly. On the back, you can see Galvatron's head revealing, which is something that the Titan Masters cannot withdraw, unfortunately. There's no way to hide any of this. Anyway, there is a little bit of articulation on this Titan Master. He's got ball-jointed head, ball-jointed arms, but they are hindered due to much of the kibble going on here. But the legs go up, they bend at the knees for sitting position, and that's really going to do it. So just transform him real quickly, just flip him over like that, and there's Galvatron. Alright, let's go ahead and get Galvatron from his jet mode into his next mode, which is obviously his cannon mode, which is what he really should just be. So transformation is simple enough. Move these to the side so I can bring this down real quickly. Alright, now I'm just going to go ahead and get the cannon all ready. Just flip this up like so. Flip that up. Now that that's set, turn it this way and put it in like so. Close this back up. Now that we got that done, disassemble this area here. Bring the legs back for a moment, just one moment, because what you got to do is slide down this bit here, and then you can bring this down, and then flip down the treads, and tap this back in if it comes undone, which it does a lot. Do the same thing, vice versa here. Just bring it down. It's not as difficult as I'm making it look, unfortunately. Bring that down. Split out the arms a little bit so they're straight. That came undone for some reason, but there's that. The last portion to work with here is the most common problem with this mode, unfortunately. Getting his legs combining, which unfortunately just, it doesn't really work as good as I hope it would. Come on. There we go. Tap that in. Make sure the bottom one's tapped as well. Get this to line up straight. It never does. It always seems to be on like some kind of spring friction. I don't get it, but yeah, if you got everything adjusted properly, both treads sticking flat on the ground, there's Galvatron in his signature cannon mode. Fantastic. I got really no complaints about this. When you got everything tabbed in correctly and you got these legs tapped in precisely in this exact area, this will actually hold in just fine. A lot of people have shown that this area seems to split very easily, but it seems to be holding pretty good on my figure, so results will vary. It looks good. There is no denying that this is definitely G1 Galvatron in all his glory in cannon mode. He looks phenomenal. And you can take the little Titan Master here. I'll go ahead and transform him back to robot mode, and you can peg him in right here on the back. If he will hold in place. 4 little ports right here. 2 holes in the bottom of his feet, so yeah, he'll hold just fine. Minor problem that I've got with this is the fact that the purple doesn't match all over the place. Some of the purple here, like this rubber bit, is a very faded purple color when compared to the body of Galvatron here. And that also goes with half the portions to his treads here. As you can see, this majority area here is that faded purple, while the rest of this on the inside is actually that very body-esque purple going on here, and it's very smooth, and this is rough, and I don't get it, blah blah blah. But for what it is a good mode. It is a really, really good mode. But this is not the reason why you wanted to see Galvatron, is it? Nope, you want to see him in his robot mode. How is the robot mode? Well, go ahead and transform his cannon. And there we go. I'll set that aside for a moment so we can get to the actual transformation for robot mode. Simple enough. Flip that up. Split out the legs before you rotate his waist, because if you don't, you could actually hurt the figure. Okay, bring that up. Line up his knees till you hear him snap. Turn him around. Bring down the feet like so. These panels here will close on the back. Looks pretty solid now. So there's that. Bring these down. Bring up the shoulder areas. That way I can flip the tread back. Bring down the arm. Bring out the hand. Just bring that up. Bring that down. Flip that out. And there pretty much is Galvatron without his head. And he is a little back heavy. Here's the head to Galvatron. And go ahead and slide it in like a keyhole. If you can get it in properly, it will peg in all the way. There we go. Takes some work, but you can get the plug in pretty good. So, last thing to do, unfortunately, is bring down the chest area. And out comes his helmet piece. And there's Galvatron in a nutshell. He looks good. In all honesty, he looks really good from the front. Having said that though, he's got quite the backpack in the back, thanks to the cockpit to the jet. And not to mention, yes, I know a lot of people complain about this, and so must I. This helmet piece is a total letdown to the figure. It hinders the articulation, but not just that. Also, if you look very carefully, his face really is sunken into that. It just doesn't look right. I have a fix coming up very shortly. I've ordered a Shapeways helmet design for this Galvatron figure, which I will be reviewing when it gets here, but until then, let's go on with the review. Last thing to do, really, is to just give him his arm cannon, and unfortunately it does not peg into the side. There's only a hole here on the forearm where it pegs in like that, and that's pretty much how he can hold his cannon. So, not perfect, but it seems to get the job done for what it is. Would have been nice if the figure actually had some wrist rotation, but that seems to be the thing for the deluxes and not the Voyagers, unfortunately. Anyway, moving his arm cannon for a moment, let's go ahead and get into his articulation, because it can be quite questionable. Unfortunately, there's really not much articulation for the head with this faceplate. If you actually take this down and put it back inside the chest, you can actually get a lot of movement from the headmaster or the Titan Master, but since it is Galvatron, gotta leave it like so. But yeah, anyway, the shoulders are universal. They go around a complete 360 without hindrance as long as you move this bit up. But they also are ratcheted going in and out to a pretty good 90 degrees position, which is nice. Bicep rotation. He's actually got double jointed elbows, which is always a plus. And that's really it for the arms. There's no wrist swivel, like I said, and that's unfortunate. Waist rotation is there, but the only way to get it to work is to flip down this bit right here so you can actually get it to work, because if this is up, it gets in the way, unfortunately. These side pieces here are on a hinge, so they move out of the way, so you can get a lot of range out of the legs with them going up this much. Back pretty dang far. In and out. They're not ratcheted, unfortunately, so that means that could cause a problem later on. There's a thigh cut, as you can see. Single jointed knees, but you do get a pretty good stance, about 90 degrees or maybe more. And last but not least, the feet are articulated as well, with a hinge going up and down and a hinge going in and out, or should I say side to side like this. So it's not a ball joint, but at least he's got the ankle rocker pivot, so it's pretty good. But yeah, there's not much else to really talk about with Galvatron. I mean, I do like this figure, but I do feel like he's like, he could have been a little more. He isn't so bad. I think there could be just a little more work in consideration for how this figure is executed, but you know, it's a little too late for that. I do not like the fact that his arm cannon has to be attached on the upper portion of his arm instead of being on the side here, because if it was able to peg in on the side, we could actually rotate his bicep and then his hand would be in the proper placement with the cannon in the proper placement as well. But the fact that he doesn't even have any wrist swivels, you still can't make it look legit, which is kind of a letdown. But this is a kid's toy, but for what it is, it's not bad. I do like it. I just wish the color purple would come out proper on my camera so you can truly see what this is. I mean, this is like a great color. I'm not really going to complain about it. It's just a little nitpick, at least for how this video works out. But for what it is, paint job on robot mode looks pretty good. The robot mode is pretty interesting, but then you have to turn it to the back here and realize that he's got a cockpit to a jet sticking on his back, and can create quite the balancing issue because there's not much going on in the heel spurs. But you know, thanks to the arm cannon being positioned in the way it is right now, he's not falling over as easily as he was earlier. It kind of reminds me of Windblade, unfortunately, because she's got some real balancing issues, and his is kind of similar. But you know, overall, I do like the figure. He's great to pose and, you know, display with my Transformer figures. Unfortunately, though, I've got to say that the helmet gimmick is a total letdown. I do not like it. I just don't. Yeah, from looking at it up front instead of from the side, it does look pretty good. I mean, you can't tell that his face is actually sinking into the helmet, but, you know, when you turn to the side, you can tell there's too much of a gap going on in there. Hopefully that Shapeway helmet will make this figure look a little more better, and hopefully it won't be too big on this figure. Going by the pictures that I saw, it doesn't look too bad, but like I said, I'll get to that review when it gets here. But until then, that's really going to do it for this figure. The only other thing that I can do real quickly is show off the size comparisons before I forget. So here he is with Generation Springer, which is still a figure that holds up to this date when compared to all the other generation figures. So pretty cool, not bad. I do like him. I mean, I don't love him, but I do like him. He's a cool figure and not bad for my first ever Galvatron action figure. So if you got any questions or comments, you know what to do. Leave it down below in the comment section of this video. If you like the video review, you know what to do. Hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't like it, well, I can't help you with that. And if you haven't already, why not hit that subscribe button for more video reviews just like the one you're reviewing today. From yours truly at the reviewing station, it's the one and only Sonic Ranger signing off. Thanks for watching, and I will see you whenever you see me.